Hello, everybody, and welcome to my very first screencast broadcast. Please welcome Emmanuel. Emmanuel, introduce
Hi.
yourself.
So, so I'm a developer and I live in France near Grenoble, so in the Alps. And I've been developing in Java since 1999 and using NetBeans as my main IDE since about 2001. And
What's your history with WildFly?
sorry?
What's your history with WildFly? Since when do you know use WildFly?
Sorry, I had the YouTube video playing in background, so
Okay.
it was. And so, like I said, I've been using NetBeans since well, the very beginning. I made some switch to Eclipse once during the NetBeans 4 period, and then went back to NetBeans, and I've been using it since then. And I've joined Red Hat and the WildFly team about a year ago to join the support team. And I thought that it was a pity that every IDE has a WildFly plugin, but not NetBeans. And so I checked with the NetBeans guys, and it took some time. And then they give me an entry point on the old GBoss plugin that was in NetBeans, the one that was supporting GBoss 4 and GBoss 5. And so about autumn last year, I started developing on it. And I had a first release, I think in January, a first official one. And so it was developed as an additional plugin. So it didn't, is not released or integrated with the classic NetBeans plugins, the official ones. So so you have to until the next version of NetBeans, so 8.0.1, you will have to download it as a portal plugin. But the NetBeans teams found that it was good enough that they want to have it as an official plugin. So it will become one on the next release, which should happen in a week or two, I hope.
Did you find it easy to contribute to NetBeans? How does that process work? I mean, everybody knows that Red Hat is very open and we put a lot of source code on GitHub. I haven't found your source code. I mean, the plugin source code. Where is it and why?
Oh, so so no, it was not easy. Well, maybe because it was a mix between a core plugin for NetBeans for the TG2E IDE and an external one. So, like I said, I started from the old GBoss 4 plugin, and so the code base is in the NetBeans IDE code base. So if you go to NetBeans and download the whole IDE code, you will get the plugin code. It's in there in the Mercurial repository of NetBeans. But even if it's in there, so you can access it easily if you are using the nightly builds of NetBeans. To get the released plugin, you have to go to the portal, and so I have to manually release each version.
Sounds like a bit complicated, but
yeah,
as you said, in a couple of weeks it will be integrated in NetBeans, and the nightly builds as of the moment, which everybody could try out, already contain it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Can others contribute to the plugin, or is it just your code? How can people contribute if we find, let's say, issues?
Well, like I said, the source code is available on the Mercurial repository, and you just have to develop it. You can there is a bug CLI, you can attach patches and stuff like that, like any open source project. So yes, anyone can contribute easily.
The file through the NetBeans issue tracker.
Yes, there is a. If you go into the NetBeans issue tracker, there is you can check server plugins to select for which plugin the issue or the patch or the enhancement is, and then you have WildFly, and then you can just do like any other bug report or issue report you want.
Great. What do you think? Would you like to try to show us the NetBeans plugin, share your screen, and just walk us through in a minute or so?
Yes, I just so I'm on my official Red Hat developer laptop, and I'm not, because the NetBeans development is only to, okay, just checking, is only is a pet project, so it's not officially supported by Red Hat, and I do it on my free time. So that's why I'm not as responsive as some people might want, because it's well.
A good idea. I mean, you can contribute all the knowledge you have about WildFly and make the NetBeans community be happy about it, right?
Yes, yes, because the old plugins and because the people that were developing the GBoss plugins were the same that are developing the Glassfish and other WebLogic and WebSphere plugin for NetBeans, and they used to use GSR 77 to manage interaction with the server, whereas in WildFly, well, in GBoss AS7 and WildFly, you have a management API, which is specific and more can give you more opportunities to do stuff. And they didn't know about this API, and well, they didn't want to learn it and spend time on it. And it happens that I wanted to learn because as a support engineer, I had to know the tool. So
that's eating the own dog food, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. So it was a win-win stuff for me. That's why also I wanted to do it that way. And so the NetBeans.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no. So so the plugins use the WildFly API, and so it should be able to, well, it's the advantage of using the WildFly API is that it's backward compatible. So it works with EAP, where even if EAP is not an officially supported platform for the plugin, it works with it. I've tried, and you can use it with EAP 6.2 and 6.3. If you are a Red Hat subscriber, then you can use it. But the main platform I developed for is the latest WildFly. So currently WildFly 8.1, and I'm checking on it. Also, I'm a Linux guy, so I usually don't test on Windows because I don't have a Windows laptop to test on it. So most of the issues I had were from Windows guy because of path stuff, like etc.
I'm curious, did you file bugs against WildFly during the development?
Yeah, I found. I feel. I think one or two about it. Issues about because because in NetBeans you have two types of deployment. You can deploy the whole archive that you produce, the artifact you produce, so the EIR or the WAR file you have produced, and this is done. This is in one way in WildFly, which is you upload and it's managed, contained, and It's fully managed by the server, and then you can also deploy exploded archive or exploded WAR files, and NetBeans can take advantage of this to do incremental deployment. Let's say you change your code in your servlet or your GSP in NetBeans. This way you will only deploy the new servlet or the new GSP and not the whole WildFly. So it's far quicker to do it that way, and better for let's say for development. And there was an issue in managing both this kind of development deployments in WildFly, and it got mixed up between because it used marker files, and it got mixed up between those two deployments. And if you are using also, so I was using the API to enable or disable the WAR, and this broke the exploded WAR deployment. So this is one of the issue I had to fix in WildFly. I feel the issue and fix it. That's the advantage of being the developer on both sides of the channel, and you can fix the bugs in WildFly and fix the bug in NetBeans.
That's true. Want to walk us through? So that will be the
yes. Sharing screen. So do you see my screen?
Not yet. Yeah, there it is. Okay, perfect.
So that is NetBeans 8, but I've manually installed the plugin. So like any server, you can add the server, choose WildFly, and then this is I'm using the current development platform, but let's say I choose sorry, application bus. So you can choose. Oh, okay. So this is a warning because you can choose any server configuration file, even one that is not provided by WildFly and one that is out of the WildFly configuration folder. And but this might lead because this might lead to issues when people were upgrading their server without changing the path here. That's why I put this alert, because otherwise you won't use the latest one, because it's not recomputed when you change the server route.
Okay, got it.
So you can choose full profile. Next.
Yeah, that was actually one of my first issues, that I just took the normal standalone XML and not the full XML, and so yeah, that's where I was wondering where the default came from. I guess
yeah,
by default it's the proposal that you use standalone.xml, right?
No, the default is should be using standalone full to be able to have all the MDPs and stuff. If I remember, I don't have the. I can check the code, but I don't have it. And then you can just start in debug mode, start the server. But you can kill it because sometimes it happens that you can lose the. Well, it used to happen, but now I haven't used it for a long while. But sometimes you can't connect to the remote API, to remote management API, and then you have to kill it manually to. So that's let's say a red button to help you in those cases. And then you can edit the configuration, so it will open the XML file for you. And
do you plan on having an editor there, which is a little bit nicer, or?
Currently, No, to be frank, no. Uh, I, I'm. It's a lot of stuff, and it's always evolving. And I don't think this would be very interesting. What might be interesting is to add some wizards, let's say, to help you configure some parts that are more more challenging parts, let's say, like defining a data source or stuff like that, or changing the ports. But I'm not in favor of putting a full editor for this.
How can people find you? I mean, I know you have a Twitter handle. You could probably write it out on an empty editor tab for people to actually read it so that they can follow you and send you some tweets or file bugs or whatever.
Um, so I'm available on on WildFly channels on ERC. You can find me on ERC on WildFly Dev on the new HipChat stuff. If you want to get in touch quickly with me. Also, you can always feel a bug, which will I'll be notified immediately about it. And I'm also on NetBeans mailing list, on the NetBeans dev mailing list. So I always check there if there is but it's a very uh, low profile mailing list. And of course, I'm also available through the GBoss forums. So if you ask questions on any GBoss or WildFly forum on gboss.org, then I'll get notified also if you specify that you are in the tags it's about NetBeans, then I'll get notified. So there's a lot of way to get in touch with me and to get help on the plugin.
Perfect. Thanks a lot for your time today. Thanks for all your efforts you put into that plugin. I personally still love NetBeans a lot more than, oh, that's me again, than I'll ever love Eclipse. But yeah, that might change in the future. As I said, thanks a lot. Hope to talk to you soon. Take care.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.